Check out this story in Los Angeles. Squatters took over vacant homes in Hollywood, and it didn't end well. What a shocker. Let's get into it. Here we go. Let's watch a couple of videos. Title on this one, make your reservations to come see our weekly fires. The address of the property in Hollywood. 2 abandoned homes are occupied with homeless squatters. Fires here last week as well. About 4 fighters total. LA and Hollywood, Los Angeles Fire Department to the rescue again and again. Let's watch the video.
Here we go. Again. These abandoned buildings are being occupied by squatters, are now on fire. Again.
Again. Horrible.
At least 4 times. And it's really a shame.
It's because a bunch of homeless people are allowed to occupy housing. What could go wrong? Okay, nobody gets killed in these deals, right? The amount of resources that we have to spend on just absolute mind-numbing ridiculousness. Here's another good one.
For the 4th time in about 2 weeks, flames erupt from a Hollywood home taken over by squatters.
Look at that.
Thursday forced to tear down what's left.
It's almost comical, so I'm kind of laughing a little bit.
Yeah, but nobody's laughing.
Except for we've been tortured over it.
Except it's not a joke.
One of several neighbors on Wilton who have complained to city leaders for months about these vacant homes.
The police can come onto this property.
Squatters seizing the houses with no regard to law.
What?
Residents repeatedly recording nudity.
Wow, oh my God.
And recently, large fires.
If there are abandoned buildings on a street, it can't be like lying there for a year without being knocked down because people who have no homes, they're going to go in the buildings.
Agreed. Yep.
This building on Wilton, close to the vacant homes, is a housing hotel for the recently homeless.
We can't just be putting homeless people in a building just to pad out.
So they're in the homeless hotel and they're using the vacant one to do their craziness, drugs, sex, whatever it might be, right? And then because they're lighting their drugs on fire, the house catches on fire. It's not that hard to figure out. I mean, the number of homeless fire calls that most major big blue Democrat-run cities, it's like 1/3 of the calls are to homeless fires because they're doing drugs and they're just lighting shit on fire. It's crazy.
Our numbers and say they're off the street. There has to be a legitimate program in place to deal with if they have drug problems, to deal with mental illness.
Mm-hmm. But there's not.
First reported on the problem
Look at that.
Last week, a spokesperson from City Council District 13, 𝗪𝗠𝗪 office, sent us a statement saying they were working urgently with the Department of Building and Safety to declare this property a nuisance. Can we talk with you for a minute?
Actually, I can't talk to you now because I'm working.
Nearby residents tell us this.
And I don't want to.
Inspector at the scene has been assigned to these abandoned homes for weeks that now look like this. Could more have been done?
Could more have been done? Could you have done anything? Anything? Now, this is bound to happen. This is going on all the time. It's just you don't normally catch it with 4 fire calls in a week. I mean, that's just staggering. But build it and they will come. And when I say that, we're talking about the homeless industrial complex. This is the end result. Now, when people get really mad is when those adjoining buildings catch on fire and innocent people burn up. A baby will get burned up and people will just absolutely freak out and go, oh, we got to do something. And then they'll look around and go, well, yeah, there's not a lot we can do because it's going to cost a lot of money and we don't have the budget for that. Meanwhile, we're funding just ridiculous New Green Deal stuff. And that's exactly what's going on.
There's always less to do. I like to tell you, we're doing what we can.
This guy said there's more to do and there's less to do. Well, I'd say LA officials did less, and this is what happened. Became a news story. He became just more of the ongoing laughingstock, right?
Oddly enough, LAPD SWAT Thursday using the vacant home that didn't burn for a training exercise. Well, neighbors still don't have answers.
I know this is happening all over the city. There has to be a better solution.
There is. Not going to happen.
Team Councilman's office says the city.
This is interesting. So you got, all right, I'm going to go real estate on you here for just a second. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I'm not sure if you can see that. Let's play it a little further. Oh, here we go. Right there. Composition roof, single sheet, composition roof, old school. And here you got that composition fake wood nonsense with, I think, a composition wood fake nonsense ridge cap, right? What are we doing there, guys? What are we doing? Did we rip off one layer or we just do one layer because that one side of the house? It's an interesting look, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. All right. Burned up now.
People on here tell me they want real accountability. Reporting live tonight, 𝗪𝗧𝗑𝗠𝗓, Fox 11 News.
Maybe that was the property next door. Looks like that. Maybe that was the property next door. Who knows, right? Who knows? So much goodness coming out of California right now. It's wild. Story after story after story. And it's inevitably Democrat-run, liberal-led nonsense with the end result being, that didn't work out all that well. And this misguided compassion that you can just allow homeless people to live wherever and put up housing all over the city, build it and they will come. Well, they've come. Because you've got what percentage of America's homeless is in California? 50, 30, 35%, 50%, something like that. I mean, it's a huge, huge number. And you're left with, well, because it's good weather. No, it's because you've built it. You've built the infrastructure for the homeless industrial complex and people have come and they're not going away. A pair of vacant properties in Hollywood, California started making news 10 days ago after residents complained a large group of squatters had taken over the homes and were creating a nuisance in the neighborhood. How do you think this would be handled in Oklahoma? Yeah, the cops would come in, they would grab them by the scruff of their necks, they would haul them out, they would take them to a shelter, and they would say, if you come back, we're arresting you on the spot, and you're going to go to jail. That's what they would do in Oklahoma. I mean, don't mess around. When you mess around, this is what you end up with. They cut the fence and lifted it, said Jennifer Martinez, a neighbor. I've seen a lot of trespassers have drugs and weapons because the homeless community has a lot of drugs because that's why they're homeless most of the time. And if you're going to be homeless, you got to have weapons because it's extremely violent. And if you're a female, good luck with that. Squatters appear to ignore the boarded up windows, fencing, and posted signs that say, closed to the public. It's like all the stories I do on Seattle, and there'll be an obscure sign somewhere in the trees that says, no public camping, just littered with homeless nonsense, right? Cell phone video shared with Fox 11 shows squatters breaking in day and night. Neighbors estimate there are about 20 of them living in two properties along North Wilton Place. Maybe the one with the weird roof was the second place. They've cut out the power line for the streetlights to provide themselves with electricity. That's standard stuff. And all the homeless encampments that I was visiting after CHOP, where they were taking all the people that were on the field from CHOP, because everybody just, free for all with no cops in there, with no real authority, whole bunch of homeless people. Oh, let's go here. This could be great. And it was a summer of love until it wasn't. And 2 black kids got killed at a Black Lives Matter movement rally, right? CHOP. That was insanity. But cutting the electricity at the parks is a normal thing. You take it from the power pole, cut it, splice it. What could go wrong? The drugs, noise, nudity. Was that chick running down the street naked, topless? I don't know. Nudity and criminal behavior were a nuisance, but when the police were called out, nothing seemed to change. It's because officials don't really want to change this. They don't really want to take responsibility. Hey, we got a problem here. And you guys allowed this to happen. What are we going to do? Well, we're talking to this unit over here. You heard the guy. No, I can't really talk to you because I'm on the job. It's like, you're just standing around. You got a bunch of reporters around. Give us your story. Tell us what's going on. The least you can do is that, right? The squatters would just disappear and then come back when the police were gone. Source of all this activity was another house next door, which was receiving money from the city to house the homeless, as happens on the regular. Some of the homeless would hang out all day on the porch of their free housing and jump the fence into the abandoned properties at night. Why are they doing that? Because they're going to go do their drugs and their shenanigans, right? Whatever it is they're doing over there. Buying, selling stolen goods, getting the ladies in there. Oh, yeah. Now, beyond all the nuisance this created, the real danger was the fires. Well, fires tend to burn stuff up, don't they? 2 weeks later at the same site, there was another one. These were all these videos. Finally, there was enough media attention that LA City Council member 𝗧𝗜𝗠𝗘𝗦𝗧𝗔𝗠𝗪 issued a statement saying that he was working to have the site declared a nuisance. This property has become, here's the official talk. This property has become a serious concern for neighbors, and we're taking urgent action. By urgent, you mean allowing enough time to go by where you've had 4 fires in how short of a time period? Anyway, they're taking urgent action through multiple routes. This is the bureaucratic nonsense to address this public safety matter as quickly as possible. Lucky somebody didn't die. First, our office is coordinating the Department of Building and Safety to begin the formal process of declaring this property as take a D8 in there and just doze it. Yeah, before all this happens. Oh no, we got to go through the permitting. You got 4 fires, just mow it down. Mow it down. Bring the crew in. Pretend it's a tear down that you're putting up a brand new big, property and take it down. Cases, and I know it takes a while to get a permit, but when you're the government, you can make that happen. Hey, stat, we need one overnight. All right, here we go. Case is expected to go before the Board of Building and Safety Commissioners in May. If approved, the city can place a lien and take immediate steps to secure the site ourselves. That's LA for you. That's California for you. Just hands-off approach. Let them do their thing, Why can't we all get along? And then this nonsense happens. They're lucky somebody didn't literally burn up. Some dude in the corner all crashed out, doesn't make it out. So sometime later this month, the city would have a vote and eventually take an action to tear the building down. But as it turned out, the homeless squatters beat them to it. Last Thursday, the building caught fire again, and this time was heavily damaged. I mean, so bad, right? So bad. Fire erupted Thursday morning at a 2-story structure, the address, around 2 a.m. Weird, middle of the night. What was going on in there? Hey, what are you guys doing? Crews from the LA Fire Department quickly responded to the scene. Video from the bystanders showed a large fire crew presence working to extinguish the growing blaze. The amount of resources big blue liberal cities spend containing fires set by the homeless, again, is incredible. Incredible. But you know what everybody in these big blue cities says? They go, I wonder what we could do about this. Back in the day, we used to say, that's retarded, but you can't say that word anymore, so I'm not going to. So we're just going to move past that. I wish they would have taken care of this earlier, said neighbor Nathaniel Siri. I wish they would tear all these empty houses down because these houses aren't livable at this point. That's been the case for years. You've got them all over LA. You've got them all over Seattle. It happens. And these homeless folks, unless these homes are squared away, and then, developers are on the hook if a homeless fire happens and they've got some liability. Hey, you didn't take the house down fast enough. Well, we're trying to get a permit. Here's a local news report on the fire. we just played that one. I can't prove it, but my guess is the city was happy to plod along at its usual pace when this was just a big nuisance for neighbors. But once the building was a danger to the homeless, who might have gone back in after the fire, they acted immediately to tear it down. It's one of those things where, if the All-Star game is coming to town like Seattle, if the Olympics are coming to town, if President of China, whomever the hell that was that came to town in LA, or no, that was San Francisco, wasn't it? They can get stuff done, but they don't want to because it's okay. I mean, this is liberal LA. This is what we like. This is what's good. Homes burning up because whack nut jobs are in there doing drugs. Councilman who had promised to have the site declared a nuisance got an earful when he showed up at the site after the fire. Let's watch this one. Here he is.
What's going on? And this is a guy.
So Catherine told me that Mikey was an
Hold on. I want him to hear and see this.
I'm on your property. Bitch, you have my wealth. You stealing my fortune and fame. Yes, yes, we have to hear the news and the game. Yes, I did.
good for you.
Did everyone leave?
And no. That hoe. Walking our streets every day.
Get that bitch your job. Go check.
Yeah. This is
what I deal with. Do you think I'm 33 years old? I live by myself. Do you think that this is fair? I went to Taxpayer. I came back here to live. No, it's not. So I've been dealing with this shit for so long, dude. What the fuck are you guys doing?
Oof. She's pissed. But you know what? There's a point where you got to take some self-responsibility and go, this is what I signed up for. If I want to live in this neighborhood, unfortunately, this is what's going on. You've got lack of leadership from officials because build it and they will come. And that's happened. And it's wildly out of control. And this is the end result of bad leadership. Period. It's what it is. Because leadership can't, even if you've got good leaders in there now, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with all these homeless folks that are whacked out of their mind on drugs and they're criminals? What are you going to do? Yeah, there's no good answers. So good luck with that. I mean, I feel terrible for any female living by themselves and worrying about the threat that is just outside of their door. I was watching a Joe Rogan video, as you do, and he was talking about how, if a trans man comes in the locker room at his gym, he's not really worried. And my son and I talk about that all the time. Like, you never see, like, if you saw a naked trans man walking around and in the locker room, you just wouldn't really, you go, oh, that's really weird. I mean, that's a chick walking around naked, but it's not going to be a threat, right? I'm not going to be threatened by a female walking around in my locker room. I'll be like, good Lord, what are we doing here? That's wrong. But I'm not going to be, good God, I got to get out of here. No, I'm just going to be like, oh, that's strange. But for females, I think the flip side to that so many of us forget is that the threat to their just basic public safety, we saw it running around. You just got a bunch of nut jobs running around doing shenanigans willy-nilly. Yeah, how's that for a triple count there, right? Meanwhile, in Sacramento, just a day after the fire in Hollywood, Democrats voted down a bill which would make it easier to evict squatters. The bill's author, Assemblyman 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗔𝗬, said, when the rightful owner discovers that their property has been stolen by a trespasser, they dial 911, as most people in America do. Police officer or sheriff's deputy shows up and says, sorry, we can't help you. California is one of the only states where this nightmare is happening. California, Washington, Oregon, same drill. West Coast, best coast. Huh, that kind of nonsense doesn't happen in Idaho, except maybe in Boise. Boise is like, we want to fly the pride flag. What's wrong with you people? We've literally seen situations where the police officer or sheriff's deputy advises the rightful property owner that they may be arrested for trespassing on their own property for demanding that someone be removed from it. I know. Let me know in the comments what you would do. How would you handle it? What kind of gun would you point at them and say, hey, you need to leave? Or what kind of crew would you get in there to take care of business? Let me know in the comments. I need you to. It's time for us to clarify in state law that squatters can be removed with due process. Colt 45? Yeah. Had it passed, whatever bill would have required individuals occupying a property without legal documentation to provide a valid lease or proof of rent of payments within 3 days or face arrest. If documentation were provided, a hearing would have been scheduled within a week to determine its validity. Should the magistrate find the documentation is improper or fraudulent, the individual be removed and subject to liability for damages. Oh, good luck with that. These people are effing homeless. So there you have it. Democrats are on the side of the squatters. That's why stories like this keep emanating from California. And like I say, podcasts for days, weeks, months, years. Thank you, California. I appreciate the business. I'll be back. So you want to make sure that you're subscribed. Hit that bell thing. Hit the like button. I'll see you on the next one because, like we said, there's going to be many more to come. All right. Thanks again. We'll catch up in the next one. Bye for now.